broadcast. Forgot.
Okay.
So yeah. So do you just want to do that first?
Yeah, I was just talking to my husband about it because he did this same class, and he had like a good idea. Um, so I was just thinking maybe we could do that.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So here it is. So the final project. List the name of your group members. Okay. So
So hold on. So I just want to make sure only one person turns this in.
yeah. So I'll just
Okay.
write class and then we'll get it.
Oh, so we have to do this whole. Oh, there's a lot actually, but
It's just the one part. This is the entire project, and then it's just under it. There's the design the study part. And there's like 7 of them, I think.
oh yeah, there's only 7. Yeah, I see them.
Well,
Um,
maybe we have to do all of it. I don't know. I'll check.
well, it says so. First, we're designing final project. Design the study. Your project must be approved by your teacher before you can collect any data.
Yeah.
And then yeah, there's a says then there's a design the study section.
Yeah, but do we have to fill that out today?
I think we do. Well, I think we have to. Ooh, I don't know actually.
I think so too, because on week 10 it doesn't have anything, and week 11 it's collect the data. So I think
Yeah,
that it.
I think you have to do all of this then.
Okay. No. Oh, well. We'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so it says, please write below which group member will be the main writers for each step of the project. The main writer will be the only one to collect everyone's ideas and suggestions. They are then responsible to send the document out for feedback and apply for the feedback to the document before submitting it. The writer can assign out different parts of the writing as well. For example, if you're in charge of describe the data you ask for. Okay, so for the design the study, I'll put my name.
okay.
Um,
At step 2, everyone has to do that.
yeah.
I'll do step 3.
Okay. Okay.
Joe,
Yeah, Joe.
step 4. Um, and
Um,
I'll do 5. Um, because I'm just not good with PowerPoints, and so I'm just looking down
so
at
yeah,
6.
and it says writer, so should we do both me and Joe on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, and then that'll be perfect.
Okay.
Oops. Okay.
All right. So design design a
Sorry.
study. You are to create your own research question based off the interest of the group. Here's a list of few example of previous studies that to give you possible ideas. This is not an exhaustive list. Please be creative in forming your research question. Are there 100 chips in every bag of Chips Ahoy? Are brand A paper towels stronger than brand B? Is there a difference in the price of books at the BYUI bookstore compared to those available online? Are men or women more likely to walk on grass if they're walking behind someone who walks on the grass? Start your research question. Make it in plain English, something like okay. So what was the idea your husband had?
Okay. So you're taking the Excel class, right? This semester.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for their study, what they did is they wanted to know if as the years go on, if the first presidency's conference talks have gotten shorter or longer. So then it was super easy for them to collect the data because then they just split up. Everybody took like a certain amount of years and they went through and they found the word count for their conference talks. Then they were able to do that, compare it, and then, run stats on it and come to a conclusion. So I was thinking, like, we did that Temple assignment where you had to figure out, like between how many temples each president had during they were president, how many temples were built.
Yeah.
So I was thinking what we could do is we could figure out whether more temples are built in the first few years of a president's presidency, or however you want to say it, or in the last couple of years.
Okay.
So
Um,
then you could just find the data online, and then we'd have to have some special specifications for them to be able to get in. Like, I think the first couple of years there was almost no temples built, so we can just do like the last 10 presidents, and then if they hadn't served more than like say 6 years, then we also exclude them. That way we have like a good sample.
yeah, because I was gonna say, because Howard
Yeah.
W. Hunter was in it for like 6 months,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then Brigham only saw one, or
Right.
yeah, and so yeah, I think we would just have to set up a bunch of different things, but I don't know, because then like I feel like the numbers will be skewed heavily, just because just a ton of temples were built under President Monson and
Yeah. Because
Gordon B. Hinckley.
as more goes on, they'll do more, right? But we're not comparing president to president. We're comparing each president on their own. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So then it's not, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What we'll do is we'll just take like the average of it, and so like if we do the first 3 years and the last 3 years, if 1, 2, and 3 temples were built in the first 3 years, then we'd add those up and divide it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't, in this project, even if the data is skewed, it doesn't necessarily matter what the whole project is for. Is just getting you to, to do it. It doesn't
to do a study.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but if you have a better idea,
I'm down for easy, accessible data. I don't want to do something where we have to like go and like figure out our own information. So yeah, that works. So
like, are men or women more likely to walk on the grass? That would be so hard to figure out.
yeah. Or like chocolate chips, like we would have to go buy a ton of chocolate chips.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking, because get it online, and then my husband was saying then we won't even do like an ANOVA, because we won't have that. We'll just do one of the, like, we'll do the 2 sample t-test to compare the first part of the years and the last part of the years, and so that's pretty simple and straightforward too.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yeah, so population of the study is profits.
would it be profits or would it be temples then?
Probably temples.
It'd be okay. No, you're fine. I had no idea. Okay, hold on. So I need to state the research question. So for the last 10 profits. All right, so we are trying to determine.
Would it be, I feel like the question would be like, do profits tend to build more temples at the beginning or end of their presidency? I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah. So what if we are trying to determine the average, or not, yeah, so we're trying to determine if profits church build more temples, we do more average temples, or more temples on average, more temples
on average, yeah.
Average in the first. Oh, so I think we should do. What do you think? Do you remember? Should we do 2 years? That way, we only need the profits to serve for a total of 4 years to be able to be included in our study, or?
Yeah, I feel like that should be the case.
So in the first 2 years or the last 2 years of their presidency. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
So the population. So what is your experimental unit? In other words, what is the smallest entity from which you are collecting some piece of data? I don't know.
Yeah. LDS history.
What is the smallest entity from which you are collecting a single piece of data? Oh, I have no idea. I'll ask my husband to come back in here. So what is your response variable? Number of pimples?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Okay.
Well, I believe that would be because that's what we're
Yeah.
going off. So
So is your response so it's quantitative, right? Because it's just number of temples.
yeah.
Okay. Which statistical method are you using for this study, and which one you should follow the 8 methods? So we want quantitative, 2 samples. Ooh, would they be independent or dependent? Because it'll be within, like, it'll depend. Because if we're using the first 3 years of, President Monson, then we have to also use this last 3 years. Would that be?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
And I mean, something we would have to take in consideration too is like a lot of. I think we should go by temple announcements rather than construction dates.
You're right.
Because like
I
some
didn't think
people
of that.
will announce a temple, but it won't get built for a while or until someone else is in.
So we'll do announce instead of build. Announce more temples. Okay. That sounds good. Good thinking.
But I think it would be independent then.
You know what? I'll do that, and then I'll just double check with my husband.
That's fine.
I
mean, it's okay. Like if we mess up on this, because I think we're turning it in either way, and so I'm sure a teacher will give us feedback.
Okay. So, what are your null and alternative hypotheses? Please review the format of the hypotheses so that your answer agrees with your answer step 6. So I think this is just H equals or does not, or not H. What is the term for this? So H. Oh. What do you use? Sheesh. I'll think of this.
Isn't it? Oh no, that's not. Never mind.
What's the letter that we put in front of it? We do something equals or something does not equal, but
isn't it H?
Is it H?
It's either H or N. That's what's going through my mind.
I thought it was P.
It could be P.
Okay, well I'll check on it. So
I'll go with your word.
Okay, so we'll say P or whatever variable is equal to 0, meaning that there's no difference between the first couple years and the last couple years of temple announcements.
Correct. Yeah.
And then do HA. I think that there's going to be more in the last couple years than in the first couple years, because then they know what they're doing and they can get going, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So do you think that, or should we just do not equals?
Not
equals would be easier. Let's do just not equal.
Yeah, okay. All right. Number 8. Which sampling method will your group use? Shoot. Would it be?
We're gonna cluster them together, right?
Yeah.
And then get a sample of them.
Yeah.
So I think it's cluster. Like you said, our professor's gonna provide feedback for us though. So yeah. I guess if we really mess up.
And if we have any questions, we can email her about it. Because I think we should go over this with Joe next Tuesday, just in more detail.
Well, we have to. It's due by.
Well, I know it's due Saturday, but I'm just saying we should at least go over it with Joe, so he's not like in the dark.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 9, describe in specific detail how your group will collect data using the sampling method stated in the question. Also, what sample sizes are you planning to obtain per population? So the population is the announcement.
yeah.
Is the
So
announcement of the temples.
I think so. So what we want is we want the first 2 years and the last 2 years
Yeah.
of each. So how we're gonna collect the data is that we'll use the LDS.org, and then we'll split it up between. You know what I mean? We'll look at the different prophets and decide. We'll take like 10 of them or something like that. So let's just say, so using LDS.org, we will take 10 presidents or so. Maybe I'll change it. I don't know. Presidents of the church and collect the number of temple announcements from the first 2 years of their presidency and the last 2 years.
All right. So 10, please review the requirements in the text for your chosen method from step 6 and discuss why your study is in alignment with the requirements. What are the?
I guess that's, well, so we're going to take, oh, shoot. Because to be able to get a decent sample, you need at least 30, right?
Yeah. So, 30 population or 30?
Yeah, so your N has to equal 30. So you have to, like, you'd have to interview 30 people to be able to get a response that's not going to be less skewed, you know?
Yeah.
So if we took 10 and we took the first 2 years and then the last 2 years, that's 4 times 10, that's 40. But does that count that way?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. Well, our project involve human subjects. I'm going to say no, because not necessarily. Will you be conducting a survey? No.
Yeah, so now we just skip down to 19.
Yeah, I'll talk to my husband about the other one. Oh, yeah. So, sorry. So, the project approval.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So, yeah, well, we're done with that.
Okay, I'll just go over it with my husband and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go to this week. Okay, so I finished the group meeting.
Huh?
I finished the group meeting quiz.
Okay. I have not started it.
Oh, no problem. But just so you know.
Okay, content.
My phone might die. And if it does, I'll call you over the live. Well, actually, I better just put it in. Hold on. Okay.
All right, group meeting quiz. Is it long at all? Or
It's 18 questions minus the, well, it's 18 questions. There's those 2 at the front, so it's 16.
Okay. Okay. All right. The symbol for the true population portion is which of the following? Is it B, P hat?
No, it's just P.
Oh, dang it. All right. For the next 2 questions, suppose n equals 100, p equals 0.25, and p hat equals 0.10. Requirements for constructing a confidence interval are satisfied. That's true, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 5. The requirements for conducing a hypothesis test are satisfied. I want to say that's true, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's true.
Okay. All right. A study of first-degree murder trials was conducted in another state. A random sample of 60 people on trial for the first-degree murder was taken. Of these, 45 of the defendants were found guilty. Find P, the point estimate of the other proportion of the first-degree murders who are found guilty in this state. Round to 3 decimals. Okay, how do you do this?
So it's just the point estimate of P, which is just X divided by N. So 45 divided by 60, I think is what it was.
Yeah, so it'd be what, 0.75?
It's 0.75.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought, but like, I don't know. I just get confused with the questions just so much. Like, I feel like everything, like, they just like word questions like differently. So I'm just like worried that it's like supposed to be something completely different. All right. Create a 95% confidence interval for the true proportion of the first degree murder trials in this state where the verdict is guilty. Input your answers for the margin of error, lower bound and upper bounds. Ah, dang it. Shoot, I don't have the sheet.
Oh, well, you can do it by hand.
Yeah, and I. Okay, so determine margin of error. What did you get?
For number whatever one we're on, I got 0.11.
Okay. Did you do 0.110? Because it says round to 3 decimal places.
Yeah, and it'll automatically when it's 0, it'll automatically kick off the 0 at the end. So either way, it doesn't matter. You'll still get the right answer.
Okay, that's nice to know. And you got 0.64 for lower, 0.86 for upper.
Yes.
If you increase the sample size from 60 to 80, what do you expect to happen to the width of the confidence interval? So if you 60 to 80, it's going to decrease. Wait.
Yep.
Yeah, it would decrease.
Yeah.
All right, to conduct a hypothesis test for one proportion, 2 requirements must be met. Suppose P equals 1/2. What is the smallest N can be in both requirements met? Okay, so I have no idea how to do this.
So, like, the requirements are N times P has to be greater than or equal to 10. And then the other one is N times 1 minus P has to be greater than or equal to 10. So you just need to figure out what's the lowest number it can be, and it'll still be equal to 10.
Okay.
So I just plugged it in, right? Because it's
Yeah.
0.5. So like N times 0.5 to equal 10 is just 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You just have to make sure that that works for the other one.
Okay.
And if it does, then you're good to go, and it's 20. But now the other way to do it, I think, because question 12 I got wrong, is there's that N estimator. You know, you find the sample size.
Yeah.
It's N equals Z over M. I think that's what you have to do for the next one, because I did both 10 and 11. I got it both wrong.
Okay.
So.
All right. To conduct a hypothesis test for one proportion, 2 requirements must be met. Suppose P equals 1/10. What is the smallest? Would that just be 100?
Yeah, well, yeah, it might be. I would check the other one as well, though, just to make sure, because I don't know what it is.
Oh, I thought you turned this in.
I know I did, but I got it wrong both times I did it. So, question 12, right?
Did you put 100 in for your answer?
No, I put 10 and 11 because I got confused and I thought it was supposed to be less than.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, well, yeah, I'll go with the Hyundai. So for the 13 for the water quality study in the reading, about 60% of the microinvertebrate water quality indicators have historically been associated with good health. The researchers suspect that water quality in the area has decreased. So they conduct a hypothesis test using significance level 0.05. With the following hypothesis: null p equals 0.6, alternate p is less than 0.6. They collect new data, and this time n equals 80 and x equals 38 indicate good health. I really wish I had my thing. Okay. 13 would be true.
Yes.
14. What is p hat? I need my book open. So how do you usually study for tests? Just curious.
I go back over my notes and then I write up. Honestly, the only reason why I'm doing so good in this class is because I took it before and I retained a lot of that information. So I have like a good base to go on. So I can just scan over the chapters and I can remember it and I can retain a lot of it. You know what I mean? And so this class is way easier for me than it should have been if I was taking it for the first time.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard time with it. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I failed it the first time, so I understand. How did you do on the test? Did you?
I did not do good.
Oh darn.
All right. So for 14, it's I got 0.475.
Yep, that's what I got too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just like I was just this way in like economics. Like I can talk economics, like I can describe to you like everything about it. Like I have a really good understanding. But then when it came to the test, just like the word was weighted, like the questions were like talked about, it's just like my head just like freezes up or something.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's just the way it's worded. Sometimes you're confused, and then again, like if you get like the first part of a question wrong on these,
like you're gonna miss like the next 5.
Right. And I don't like how it works like that. It makes it hard to be able to, you know what I mean? Because you know what you're doing. You just got the first part wrong because you thought it was like a different hypothesis test or whatever.
Yeah, I know. That happened to me. So, all right, what'd you get for 15?
Negative 2.282.
Negative 2.282. All right. What is the p-value for this test? What'd you get for that one?
0.011.
Okay. We failed to reject, or we reject the null hypothesis, right?
That's right. Do you have that little thing written down in your notebook now?
No, I don't. I try and I think I wrote it down somewhere, but I've lost it. My house is a mess right now. All right.
That's what I always have to check. I can never ever remember. So yep, but it's J.
Okay. Which of the following best summarizes the conclusion of this test? Is it C?
It's D because we're rejecting it.
Uh,
Yeah, the sufficient and the insufficient is really hard logic to follow for me because I just wish they would say, it is or isn't not.
yeah.
It's sufficient and insufficient. So
All right. So yeah. So for for 11 and 12, 11 was 20 and 12 was 100.
100.
Yeah, I got 100% on it. So
Oh, good job.
yeah, I need it.
I'm sorry. It's really hard. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's still some hope for me. Not
Oh,
really.
yeah.
I mean,
I think our project will do well, and that'll probably boost everybody's grade up.
yeah. So yeah, I just need at least if I do well on the project and then I at least get C, like at least C's on my next two tests, I should be able to pass the class.
Do we still have 2 more tests in this class? I thought we just had 1. Oh.
No, we have one more test and then the final.
Oh, that's how it works. I forgot.
Yeah. So yeah, I just
Yeah. Well, you just you're going over the what is it called? The test prep or whatever.
So yeah, I mean, I go over that, and then like when I go over it, like I feel like okay, like for this last test, I was like, okay, so like I just plug this stuff in. I know the formulas, like I know like all this stuff, but I mean, I guess I just messed up plugging the stuff in, or I don't know. So
Yeah, you just the big thing with that last test is that you have to really, really know like which hypothesis test you need to use because I think I remember on that test it was like you had to decide which test to use instead of it telling you, you know what I mean? So if you plug the numbers into the wrong Excel sheet, then you just got it all wrong,
yeah,
So I think that was the key with this one. However, I don't think that's the case with the next test. And then there'll be a little bit on the final of it, But so other than that, but yeah, that stupid thing.
for real. Okay. Well, cool. So I guess our meeting's just at the same time next week.
Yeah. So if you want, I think it would be helpful for Joe if he got this recording sent to him via email as well as the paper we wrote up. That way he can go over if he has time,
Yeah, I'll send them it.
Okay, sounds good. And then I talked to my husband and he does think it's supposed to be an independent sample instead of a dependent. So, but I'll keep going over it and maybe we'll just submit it and then get the feedback from a professor and then submit it again and whatever. But
yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you on Tuesday.
See ya.